for tuning back into my channel. I wanted this video to be a realistic reading vlog as a stay-at-home mom. I have a 3-month-old baby, so staying at home and reading as a hobby is not going to be the easiest thing to do. It would be great if I could go back to reading 5 books in a week, but that's just not realistic for me right now. However, I have downloaded a new series. It is from the author Granger. The first book is called The Secret Life of Maggie Gray. It is a part of the Drew Collins series, and I have been seeing this all over my book talk. All I do know is about a witch, a siren, and a vampire get accepted into a magical HBCU, and there has to do with murders and secrets. But before I begin reading the book, I do have to run a few errands. I have to run to Target to get a few items, and I will be browsing the book section in Target because you can't go to Target without looking at the books. Without further ado, let's go. I just got back from Target and I'm about to start reading. I just fed my son, so hopefully he can relax while I read for the next half hour if I'm able to. But this is the book. It's called The Secret World of Maggie Gray. The cover is so beautiful, stunning. I love it. My son's currently trying to eat his fist. He's been in a phase where he puts all his hands and fingers and everything in his mouth, so I'm trying to combat that with using a pacifier, but he just does not like the pacifier at all. All right, let's start reading. Reading update. It's been hours later and I read a total of 8 pages. Love that for me. But the book is about the main character, Maggie Gray. She attends a college called Carmichael College as a post-grad student, and she is currently in an African American women's studies class. And she was supposed to write a 6-page paper all about the civil rights movement. And the prompt for the paper is, what is something most people don't know about the civil rights movement? The inner workings and behind the scenes work that was done to ensure African Americans are afforded the same rights. Now, she didn't do the assignment, but she still wanted to get credit for the assignment. So she decided to tell her grandma's story that she was not supposed to repeat at all. Now, the grandma lived through this actual civil rights movement. The grandma's name is Poet. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And involved in this story is the cousin. Her name is Mary. Now, the grandma and Mary, one day they noticed outside of their windows that there was a big group of African American people walking through the streets at night. And by the time the two of them wanted to join the group, the people have disappeared. And that happened quite a few times during the night. And one night they decided to join the people, join the movement, and they joined the group. Now, when the two ladies entered the church with the big group of people, they noticed that there was a banner draped in the back of the church, and it had the letters MARS on it. The acronym stands for Magical Ancestral Rights Society. So pretty much this society has to do with people that are equipped with magical powers. Most of them are either witches, sirens, or vampires. Now, I didn't get too far into it. I've been busy with my son and walking my dog and house duties, so I'm going to keep reading, but it seems interesting so far. I do know that the main leader of this Mars group, he wants to take their private society underground so that they stay safe and the general public doesn't know who they are or what their magical powers are. because of course, if that ever gets out into the general public, all of them can be in danger and in harm's way. So I will keep reading. I will let you guys know. I'm not going to spoil any of the major points or plots in the book, let alone in the series. Some of the updates may be very vague, but you'll just have to read along with me, and hopefully you will enjoy this book as much as I will. I've gotten such a late start today. It's already 2:30 in the afternoon on Tuesday, and I'm just now picking up my Kindle. But without further ado, I'm going to give you guys an update. So while my son is feeding in the middle of the night, that is when I do the bulk of my reading, and I was able to read up to page 55. After Maggie Grace concluded her presentation for her class, the professor that she has told her he wanted to see her in his office immediately after class was done. When she got to his office, he said that he believed every word that she was saying about her grandmother's story. In actuality, he is actually a recruit for the Drew Collins University, the magical university that is underground. The reason that this university was created in the first place was actually to get away from the people. Basically, in terms of slavery, this underground school is basically like the Underground Railroad for African American people. So Maggie Grace's professor gives her a letter that will give her a pass to get into the university. The same day that she gave her presentation in class is the actual day of orientation for the Drew Collins University. Maggie Gray was instructed to go to a train station in Atlanta, and that's where she meets two other ladies that she will pretty much be sticking with throughout the book. After the girls get on the train and arrive at the college, they are greeted by a tour guide, pretty much, and gives them a spiel about the history. Something that I did find interesting within the book so far is that at the Drew Collins University, there's actually 4 schools within the university. Now, the first school is School of Elements, which is the study of magic based on the 4 main elements. That's air, water, earth, and fire. The second school is School of Intellect, those who are seekers of knowledge, historians, and want to gain a better understanding of how vastly different we are from one another. The School of Spiritual is the third one, and here it says, in my opinion, the hardest degree to maintain, those who are my witches, priests, and those who study voodoo, hoodoo, and so much more. The fourth school is School of Mythical Magic, which most of you think you would get chosen, but it's the hardest school to get accepted into. And the kicker is you are not allowed to pick your schedule or degree, and it is chosen for the students that are there. I've actually read a magical HBCU book before, Blood at the Root, and that book was really good. I actually listened to it on audiobook, and it was very immersive. It was really interesting. So I'm actually considering tandem reading the audiobook with the physical book on my Kindle. So I'll see how that goes, and I'll keep you updated. In honor of Thanksgiving being tomorrow, I decided that I wanted to try to make a sweet potato souffle. I've never really made any Thanksgiving dishes. I usually just bring Hawaiian rolls to the dinner. Sorry, Mom. But this year I decided I wanted to make a dish for my family, so this is what I'm going to try to make. I'm actually here at the Dollar Tree. There's a new Dollar Tree in the neighborhood that I live in, and they have a new grocery store section within the store. I've been in there once and I browsed around, and they have some good collection of food. So I'm gonna see what I can pick up here, and after I will have to go to Publix because obviously I need to pick up some sweet potatoes. So let's get started. This is the cutest little jar of jam that I've ever seen in my life. Thanksgiving, and I have all my ingredients laid out to make my sweet potato souffle. The recipe says it should take about 2 hours to make, so I'm gonna do a step-by-step instruction on all the ingredients that I have and how to make the recipe. So I hope it turns out good. As far as reading, I didn't read much yesterday. I'm waiting to do more of a bigger update when I have more progress done in the book, so I'll let you guys know on later. But let's get started with this recipe. I already preheated the oven to 350, so I just have to prep all the ingredients now. You guys are long overdue for an update. Of course, on Thanksgiving, I didn't really get to read much because I was spending time with my loved ones and family. And yesterday, I didn't really read much as well. But I spent most of the night last night while I was feeding my son to get caught up on my reading. I'm about 53 or 55% through with the book right now. And it's getting pretty crazy. Last night, I read a creepy part of the book. I'm not going to say anything about it, but it did give me the heebie-jeebies, and I got a little bit of goosebumps because it was pretty weird. But as of right now, where I'm in the book, the main character, Maggie, plus 3 other girls that are within her little circle of friends, they are now learning that they have powers, certain powers that have to do with who they are. Being a siren, that comes with certain powers. Maggie has certain powers. New character that was introduced, her name is Iris, and Susie has certain powers, and they're all learning to tap into the magic system and the magic realm. But Maggie is getting very curious about the first family, and she wants to learn the history of who the first family is. So that's where I'm at in the book right now. I'm going to keep reading, and hopefully I'll finish this book by Sunday. If not, I'm just going to post this video wherever I end off on the book. But I'll keep you guys updated. I finally finished The Secret World of Maggie Gray by Granger, and I definitely have some thoughts about it. To start off, I want to say Granger is an amazing writer. I love the banter that she had between all of the characters. But with that being said, there were too many characters introduced into the first book, in my opinion. I sort of had a hard time at the very beginning keeping track of all the characters that were introduced and the outline of the characters throughout the book. Some of the characters are related to one another, and other characters are just standalones. So it was kind of hard to keep track of all the characters, but once I kept reading, it got a little easier. As far as the plot for the book, I did like the aspect of how Granger made the day-to-day life relatable for each college student within the book. You were able to see the day-to-day activities for each of the characters, and when they intermingle with each other and when they hang out on campus, and how they interact with other students on campus. Although this story took place in an alternate world in a different realm, it definitely felt like a real life story and a real touch of reality, even though it has to do with magic and mythical creatures. The storyline of the book flowed very well that I honestly forgot that there was a murder that happened within the book. Now, the murder didn't happen till the very end, but honestly, I forgot that the murder even took place in the first place. I'm definitely excited to reach for the second book. I already have it downloaded on my Kindle, and I'm probably gonna start it tonight, but I definitely need to let this first book fester and digest so that I can really grasp everything that I read. It was a great book, and I really think you guys should read it as well. The first book is on Kindle Unlimited. The second book, I believe you have to purchase on your own through Kindle. It shouldn't be that expensive, but I highly recommend reading this series. the Drew Collins series. First book is Secret World of Maggie Gray, and the second book is The First Family, I believe it's called. So I'm gonna start that this week, but I appreciate you guys tuning into my vlog. This was a realistic week as a stay-at-home mom who loves to read. If you guys want more videos like this, just let me know in the comments. Sound off any books that I should read or that you recommend to me for the future, and I can add those to any future videos. Before you head out, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to click the bell in the corner to get notified every time that I post a new video. And thank you for watching. Bye!